All right. Put speaker mode. Okay. So we are officially live. I'm going to get started because we only have 30 minutes, and whoever pops on, pops on. If you don't, you can rewatch it. We all know that that's available to everybody. But today I want to go ahead and introduce Damian Burris. He has agreed to graciously come on here and talk about mindset because we're not quite halfway through the year, but we're getting close to it. We entered, second quarter, and some of us have let off the gas. Some of us have given up. Some of us are like, this is not for me. Some of us have gotten through challenges. Some of us have had our best year yet and don't know what to do with it. So we thought it would be a great idea to have Damian on here. Damian is amazing. Has spoken in our brokerage meeting before, and everybody loves him, seriously. So we appreciate him being on here. So Damien, I'm gonna let you introduce yourself and whatever you want anybody to know about you. I did already kind of give a prelude of you used to be in law enforcement and then you transitioned into real estate because that just makes sense, right? So um, go ahead and tell us what you want us to know about you.
Sure. Thank you so much, Carissa, for having me. It's always a pleasure to come speak with you guys. Yeah, so I've been in real estate for a little over a year, 11 years, 10 years full time. So 11 years total, 10 years full time. And I always say mortgage is 30 years, murder is 30 years. I'm a former homicide detective, so I think it's all the same. Um, but it's
Does it mortgage even mean like death or something? Like,
It
so
does. Mortician,
yeah,
mortgage, mortuary, it's all the same. Uh, MORT means death.
mortgage, same thing.
Yeah, yeah, right. So it's been a pleasure to be in this career and to grow it to what I've seen and to have the experiences and meeting people like yourself and all the other amazing agents that I've met in Georgia in this community of agents. So yeah, so that's a little bit about me. I'm passionate about training. I'm passionate about agents knowing who they are, but I'm more passionate about people fulfilling their purpose. I think that's where we thrive and we become our best self when we understand who we are and why we do a thing. And a lot of people, they know real estate is their purpose, but sometimes they just don't know how to unlock that purpose within themselves to be a better agent. I don't think you become a better agent and not a better person. I think you become a better person and therefore you're a better agent. So that's what I strive to help people understand how to become a better person. So yeah, that's who I am and what I do.
Awesome. Well, I don't even know. We talked about having you on here. I said you can do a presentation. We can just kick it and ask questions.
Sure.
Um, I'm open to whatever you want because honestly, anything that you give to and on this right here is a room full of agents that will be watching this and
Mhm.
operations. So
Right.
I know you're passionate about systems, and clearly that's my love language. And
Right.
everything you're saying is in alignment with what I live and breathe every day is you can't be the best for others if you're not the best for yourself first.
Right.
And you can't give others what you don't have,
Right.
right?
Right.
So um, I will let you take the floor and really
Cool.
whatever you think we need today, Damien, give it to us.
All right. I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm trying to see if I have the ability to share. Yeah, I think I do.
Cool.
All right. So, yeah, so what I've been dealing with and what's been working is just talking about becoming the better version of yourself. And when you think about that, you're thinking about identity and who that really is and what really happens with that. So I just kind of wanted to talk on that and share that with you guys. So when you're talking about identity, you're talking about simply a unique set of physical traits and behaviors, beliefs, and experience that defines who a person is, who an entity is. Why it's important because you don't make decisions with two separate brains. When you don't know your identity and when you don't know who you are, it clouds everything. And the reason why I think we have to always become the best version of ourselves is because we don't operate from two separate brains. We operate from two separate hemispheres, but we operate under one brain. So, what I'm simply saying is, whoever you are personally is who you are in business. So, the better you become in person, the better you become in business. Whatever idiosyncrasies, whatever insecurities, whatever things that you have personally, you take those into your decision making skills when it comes to real estate and when it comes to life. So the better you make the person, you're going to be a better whoever, astronaut, realtor, football coach, athlete, whatever it is, you're going to become the better version of yourself because you are identifying who you are and what makes you tick. There are two things I want to leave you with. The challenge is, who were you before the move, and who do you have to become now? And the move, I mean the move in this career, the move in life. When transition happens, a lot of us are dealing with transitions of full time. A lot of us are dealing with transitions of accepting that we are in a new career. So you gotta understand and know who was I before, and who do I want to become, right? You got to know and understand that there's going to be challenges that are going to be in front of you no matter where you are and what you do. But what I want you to realize is that full ownership in every season. We have to have full ownership in every season, when it's busy, when it's slow, and when nobody's watching. Being the best version of yourself simply means, who am I when my pipeline is dry? When the phone's not ringing, when deals are falling apart, when nobody's clapping, that's when the real you shows up, and you have to deal with that real you. I heard somebody say, whatever you squeeze out of if you squeeze an orange, orange juice comes out. You can't squeeze an orange juice and expect apple juice to come out, because whatever is in you is going to come out. The problem is what's in you when you're squeezed. When you're squeezed, that's when you find out what's really in you. And that's why you have to work on that person to understand how to be better and how to get out of the rut when you find yourself in the rut, out of a transition when you find yourself in transition. Because let's face it, be honest, talent, it has nothing to do with high performance. It has everything to do with the standard you set every day. If you want to perform high, it has nothing to do with your talent, has everything to do with the behaviors and the standards that you set every day. Producing at a high level has nothing to do with talent. It's the standard, and the most of the time you only know it when you're in when everything is going wrong. Remember, whatever comes out of you when you're squeezed is what in you. It's what's in you. The problem is we don't know what's in us until we're squeezed. All right.
Damian,
So
can I interject first? I want to ask you a question.
sure, sure.
You notice that like consistency and grind and hustle and grit, whatever you want to call it,
Mm-hmm.
mm, outruns, outpaces, outperforms talent.
Absolutely.
Okay, because that's what I preach a lot to people too. I say preach, but you know what I mean. Because
Yeah.
I feel like the people who have the talent don't know the struggle and the commitment and the level of grit it takes to wake up every morning and grind it out. Like they just wake up
Oh,
that way. So they get to a certain level and they plateau. Whereas
right.
wake up at 4 o'clock every morning and I'm running every day because I know that I need to improve. So I know the work it took to get to the better mile. So I'm going to continue that success where someone who's talented just they don't know how to put the work in. They just wake up that way. So I just wanted to
Absolutely.
interject on that because I say that all the time. I'm like, you can be the most talented person, but you're going to plateau. You're going to get to a
You
point
are.
here.
You are, and that's why you. That's why I'm a avid basketball fan, so that's why I love March Madness so much because, and I love when NBA gets to the NBA Finals, because at that point everybody's talented. In March Madness, everybody's talented. It's about when you hear the commentators talk about they have championship experience. The pace, the opening season is full of emotions, but the championship game is where you have to monitor your emotions. And just because you're talented doesn't mean you're going to walk away with the victory. It's being able to monitor your emotions. It's being able to understand crowd noise and being able to still run through the play when you can't hear. It's knowing muscle memory. It's I've been on this stage before. So like you said, talent will get you so far, but you will plateau. It's the mindset that takes you to the championship and the victory. So great point. Great point.
Yep.
Um, there's three versions of who you are. There's a public version, the family version, and the private version. The third one determines everything to me. Um, it's always good to have a public version. We all put on when we need to. Our family version is probably the most honest version of who you are. If you ask your family who this person really is, they probably have the most honest version of who you are. But then the most vulnerable version of who you are is the private version. And that's where you have to deal with the habits and where your discipline lives, but it's also where your excuses live as well. Because in new environments, like where we are and what we're trying to get to, because let's be honest, real estate right now is a new environment. I was training agents yesterday, and one of their they said they've been getting questions about, well, you've only been licensed for 2 years. Why should we choose you? And they said they got stumped on that question. I said, well, buying and selling will always be the two most important questions in real estate. We get it. Because without buying and selling, if you know how to articulate this market is not the same for anybody anymore, it all puts us at a some more common level. Now, you've been doing it 20, 30 years and you're in a specialized arena, that's different. But real estate as a whole, since COVID, has not been the same. So we're all really only 5 years old, if we're being honest, because what we did 5 years ago is not the same now. So don't let, well, why should we choose you after only having 2 years of experience? What is the same? 2 years ago, so much has changed in 2 years outside of real estate. What is the same anymore? So you got to understand, articulate, we're all at a level where, we're all doing this by the seat of our pants at some point. I had a person tell me, they said, I don't care if you are 99 years old, you're still on your first time around. And with all the experience that comes with being 99 years old, you still only do it once. So, we're all learning this thing. We're all trying to be better. But new environments don't change you, they reveal who you are. Transition will expose you. Our goal is for everyone to level up in a major way. But some of us, if we don't change personal habits and business habits, will be exposed. Right? Whatever discipline you didn't have before, you won't have it now. So that's why it's now time to be disciplined. You can change your license as many times as you want from many brokerages, but what goes with you is your habits. Just because you get a new brokerage number doesn't mean you're going to be the best person. Just because you get assigned to a new team doesn't mean you're going to be now different. It's what are you taking with you? What habits are you taking with you to be your best person? And that's what really makes a difference. You need to be better, more consistent, more accountable, more focused. Yes, we hear that all the time. But what you need to be is a better you. Everybody's always focused on more, more, more. Yeah, you need more, but you need to be a better you. If you become a better you, you're going to get more. You're going to show up differently for yourself. You're going to be more consistent. You're going to be more accountable. You're going to be more focused. So, yes, we need more. Agents do need more. That's a lot that agents talk about. I need more of this. I need more of that. What you need to be is a better you. And when you're a better you, you're going to break barriers that you never thought possible.
I was going to say, I
Um,
think the more is it's all internalized. They're concentrating more on the outside, but it's more of the internal work that they need. And if you worry about the internal more, the outside more to be profitable comes.
Absolutely, absolutely. I I had some agents that I've trained before, and I call them real estate gypsies. It's like they've been at more brokerages than they've been at closing tables. I'm like, hey, you gotta focus because at some point you got to realize you're the common denominator. All these brokerages that you've been to, and you weren't able to be successful at any of them. Let's internalize now and look at could it possibly be you?
Yeah.
Because you've picked up something from all of these brokerages, but it's still not computing. So you have to look internally and say, hey, it's me.
Right. And being one of the brokers for real, I absolutely want our brokerage to grow, but I almost talk people out of it sometimes because I'm like, listen, you've been at three different brokerages. You need to figure out who you are first because
Right.
brokerage isn't defining you, you're defining you. So let's do
Absolutely.
some internal work. And then on the flip side, when we have great agents and they're like, oh, should I come over to real? I'm like, you're going to be great wherever you are. You just got to figure
Right.
out what resources and tools that you're going to utilize over here. So don't just
Right.
make the jump because it's a cool thing to do. Make the jump because it makes sense for you and what's in alignment with who you are internally.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, it's so true. I believe I live by it and I teach it. Success is independent. It's not codependent. Success is independent. It's not codependent. You sign an independent contractors agreement. You don't sign a codependent contractors agreement. So whatever success you have, yes, it's going to be, you can partner with brokerages, you can partner with resources and tools, but the success that you're going to have is independent. It's not attached to what if somebody don't do. The only person that can be affected by somebody not doing is yourself. So success is independent, not codependent. And that's something that we have to realize and understand. Your routine is your foundation. How you do it is how it's going to come out. Whatever's at the bottom is going to come out. You notice we never see anybody that has a foundation party, but it's the most important thing in a house. Everybody has a closing, they have a walkthrough, they have a new home construction tour, but nobody says, "Hey man, we're pouring the foundation. Y'all come through and check it out." But it's the most important thing to a house because without it, I don't care how beautiful the countertops are, how nice the wood floors look, how nice the cabinetry is. Without that foundation being secure, you're going to be in trouble. So that means this: random days equal random income. You can't listen when you're trying to be intentional or have intentional money. You can't have random days.
I think you need to
It's
repeat that again. I think you need to say that again because I don't think everybody heard you the first time.
random days equal random income. When you're trying to have intentional money, you can't have random days. This has to be systematic. This has to be systematic. I've taught on systems, and we talk about the 13 systems that your body needs to function. This is not random. This is well thought out. The human body is well planned. It has something called meiosis and mitosis, meaning that whenever we cut ourselves to a certain degree, the body starts to heal its own self because it's well. When God designed this body, He designed it well thought out. Your business has to be the same. Okay, what happened when this occurs? What do I pivot to when this occurs? It can't just be random. I heard a preacher say heaven is a prepared place for prepared people. You're not just going to randomly go to heaven, right? Whatever your belief is, whatever you think the end goal is, it's for prepared people. And that's what success is. You can stumble into um, certain places of success with talent. You can stumble, but in order for you to sustain success, it comes through preparation. Okay. So you got to know and understand what that looks like and what happens. What you feed your mind will grow, be it confidence or be it doubt. Doesn't matter. Whatever you feed it, it's going to grow. So you have to decide, what am I going to feed my mind? Am I feeding confidence or am I feeding it doubt? The industry will, you can be closing the deal Friday and then be questioning your career Tuesday. Like if you haven't been there yet, just keep living. Like the older people tell me, I'm telling you, there will come a time where you're questioning, do I need to be selling houses? It'll just make you feel that way, right?
I mean,
Then there's
were you in my head this morning, sitting there on the couch while I was reading? Because yes, every day I question why I'm doing it because I have to remind myself really
mhm,
why I'm doing it. Sometimes
yes,
it's good reason, sometimes I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be doing this.
hmm hmm yep, 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 yep. So you gotta understand and know what's happening with that and what's going on, right? Um, so the next thing is standards. Surround yourself with people who elevate you. Who you are around matters. And for my bivocational people, I want you to understand standards transfer, but so does excuses. I think the people that have the hardest time in real estate are the people that still struggle with being bivocational, meaning having two careers, right? You have another job because we think that real estate is part time. Let me help you understand. Real estate is never part time, ever. There's no such thing as doing real estate part time because If you the true definition of being a part-time realtor is saying answer my phone, text, comment, or email after 5 o'clock. There's not one part-time real estate agent that has not checked their messages on lunch break, that has not talked on the phone before they clock in. Real estate is never part-time. It has no boundaries, right? So you can't show up with excuses and say, "Hey, look, this is what I'm doing." No, 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 no. You're going to have to show up, and you're going to have to eliminate excuses, and you're going to have to say, okay, I've given this time. Now I have to give this time. You might not be able to give equal time. You might not be able to give 40 hours a week to a job, a career, and 40 hours of real estate, but you're going to have to definitely give it the time that it needs for it to grow. So your excuses can't transfer, right? Um, Less, not more. We talked about that. Sometimes growth is about removing distractions, bad habits, and excuses. A lot of times agents want to know, well, what's one thing I can do better? Well, what's one thing you can stop doing that can also move the goalpost? Because everything is not about adding. Sometimes you need to remove things in order to be better. You don't have a time problem. You have a discipline problem, right? We got to stop blaming time for everything because most of the time it's discipline. And we got to stop saying, I'm just not, I need more motivation. Motivation is a placeholder for discipline. I'll say that again. Motivation is a placeholder for discipline. I stopped calling myself a motivational speaker because I don't want to speak to people that need to be that need a pep rally to do what they were called to do. I want to speak to people that understand their calling or want to be intentional about finding out their calling, and then their lives are transformed by hearing me speak. That's a different audience, way different audience. Because because here's the thing, when you understand who you are, you don't need motivation. If you are a parent, put a one in the chat. Okay, if you're a parent, put a one in the chat. Right? You see these ones, right? Who has to motivate you to be a parent? Who has to say, hey, you need to feed your children? Hey, you need to get motivated to go pick your child up from daycare. Hey, I put this podcast on so you can be motivated to cook. No, you are a parent and a great parent because you're disciplined. It's the same thing. Here's the problem. The importance of being a great agent hasn't risen to the level of being a parent. And it may not ever, because being a parent will always be greater than being a real estate agent. But what I'm saying is, you realize that you're called to something, you don't need motivation. You're disciplined to do it. So take the same discipline that you have and apply it to that career. All right. Can you elevate? Yes. Your thinking, your execution, and your standards. Don't think this is solely a business. It's a personal test. Are you looking for comfort? Because some of us are. Comfort keeps us stuck. It makes us feel good, but growth feels hard because it moves you forward. And if you're ever wondering if you're stuck or you're progressing, look at where you are. Does this place look familiar, or is it not looking familiar? If it's not looking familiar, normally it's growth. Because when you are in a place that you've not been in, you don't know how to navigate. You have tools to keep going, but sometimes you don't know what the end result is going to be. You just keep pushing. All right. Match the moment. Will your habits match your goals? Will your actions match your vision? At the end of the day, nobody's here. Nobody here is lacking opportunity. You're in the right place, the right time, the right company. But will you match the moment? The opportunity of a lifetime only lasts the lifetime of the opportunity. Will you match the moment? Will you show up and have the vision that you need? Because the best version of you is built daily, not occasionally. It's a daily decision. We make 13 million decisions a year, 35,000 in a day, 272,000 in a month. In 13 million decisions that you make in a year, one of them has to be intentional about you being your best version of yourself. Pick one thing, do it daily, and don't negotiate. Pick one thing, do it daily, and don't negotiate. You didn't make this move to be here in real estate. You didn't make this move just to make it. Your habits, your mindset, your execution, and your business, right? You got to look internally and say, sometimes it's not what's happening on the outside, it's what's happening on the inside. And when you get to that point where you have the opportunity to govern who you are and own the real estate that's between both of your ears, you have the ability to be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, awesome. Like you said, everything that honestly I needed to hear today, so I know someone else needed to hear it. Because there are days that I don't want to show up, and what I realize are the days that I don't want to show up and I do show up are my best days because it's that consistency that pushes through and breaks that barrier and shows how strong I really am because your mind is so powerful. Your mind will create a comfortable environment for you
Yes,
because it wants to be safe.
absolutely.
Will tell you to run the other way. And for you to
Yes,
go against your mind and do what it's telling you not to do is
yes.
so hard. And that's what
Mm-hmm.
separates the winners from the non-winners. I'm not going to say loser, but the non-winners. And, there's a ton of real estate agents out there, and they all have the same exact access to tools, the same
Mm-hmm.
exact access to education, same exact access to MLSs, markets, all of it, right? Why are some agents top producers and some haven't sold anything in years? And
Why is 26% of the agents carrying the business? Right,
and that's the biggest thing is like you have to want it more than you don't want it, right? And
right, right,
that pain, you either run to it or run from it.
right,
So you just got to figure out why you're doing it. And that's
right.
key. Bring it back to the beginning of what you said. If you are in real estate, you're in it for a reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are so many different things that you can be doing in real estate. It's not necessarily selling houses or being a broker,
Right,
or there's transaction
right.
trading, there's, just so much. Like I can go on for hours on all the things that you can do in real estate, but
Right.
I'm really passionate on this subject, like in figuring out what your superpower is. And so once
Mm-hmm.
you figure out what that superpower is, your magic comes out and then your magic spreads to others.
Sure.
And it's super important to get into rooms with people like you, people like
Mm-hmm.
me, people that just have bad days. I mean, you think most people when they see me, I was at a meeting, not a meeting. That's how many meetings I'm in. I was at a wedding, not a meeting. It was a wedding with family. And my brother-in-law, I said something negative, right? And my brother-in-law was like, wait a minute, Miss Positive, Miss I'm on Facebook and putting all these things out there. And I said, listen, the reason I say that is because I need to hear it, right? Like, and if I'm not hearing it, I'm the one who has to say it. And I'm not crazy, but affirmations work. So sometimes just saying
Absolutely.
it loud and pouring into others fills my bucket. And that's why I am
Yes.
out there all the time saying these things.
Right.
I absolutely appreciate you getting on here.
Thank you.
This
Thank you
was
for having me.
no, this was great, and you're gonna have to come back, and you're gonna have to join me and Josie for we do Monday real talk. It's like
Mm-hmm.
real talk in real estate, and it's just raw, unfiltered. Like we literally just cut it up
Yeah.
and talk about anything that's relevant, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be in real estate. It could be about relationships and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd
Yeah. No.
love to have you back and join
Sure.
one of those for sure.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's make it happen.
Awesome. Well, Damian, again, thank you. Let me know if there's anything we can do for you. And I hope
Sure.
you have a wonderful day. And thanks, guys, for jumping on. And I will definitely send this out to everybody so they can watch it and it'll be in the library for viewing.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
All right, Damon.
All
Talk
right.